Our next presenter is the Director of the Psychology Development Division, Department of Women's Development Malaysia. Her publication in Laughter and Humor together with Dr. Noza Abdulghani focus on laughter and humor as remedies in public sectors. During COVID-19, she has conducted webinar sessions that promote laughter, yoga with various in public agencies. Her topic today is laughter in the Malaysian public sector. Let's welcome Dr. Raja Kamariah, Raja Muhammad Khalid. Yay! Give her a round of applause. Yay!
Thank you, Moy Cheng. I have slides. Can we share the slide with everybody? And I will next inform you. Okay, my presentation is basically on our experience of conducting laughter yoga in the public service. So this is our book. We are talking about laughter and humor because of our research. Dr. Noza is my sister actually, and myself, but she cannot join us. She has another webinar. So based on our experience, if you want to go into the public service, which is serve more traditional and conventional organization, I think there are a few things that we need to look into. The four main major issues. The first one is the term laughter, because you know the way the public service has been conducted lots of programs, and most of the programs are very structured, and we have certain module follow. So the term laughter seems to be a very still at an infant stage, and they cannot see the scientific value of it. So that will be one challenge. Another challenge is that from religious point of view, as all of us know, in Malaysia, there's one point that we limited the term yoga only for certain believers. But I think it's very important on the first stage before we go and perform or share on our laughter yoga, we have to explain the term yoga means exercise. So normally Dr. Noza will help me in terms of explaining the term yoga, because she's a sports psychologist, so she will explain on breathing exercises from sports point of view. The most challenging point is that the issue of shy and shame. You know, we have been trained before we entered to the public service, we have been trained to follow some protocols. We have ethics, we have a few things that we have to follow, and it has been like implanted in our mind. So we have, we need more effort to take out this the childishness when we conduct the session. And finally, their pride and ego. Okay, next slide, please. This next slide is I normally focus on the facts of laughter yoga. Another slide. Another one, please. Okay, this is the thing. Thank you very much to Lee and friends in Johor Bahru, because most of the articles published in the newspaper and also in the local news helps us to explain to our audience the importance of laughter in life. And that will be the evidence for them to follow our courses, yeah? And we also managed to penetrate the uniform bodies like the PDRM, the police, the firefighters, everything. And it's very difficult and challenging, but if we present some facts, then they will follow. And congratulations to Dr. Madan Kataria, because having said that the Stanford University is willing to be the base of research for laughter yoga, that will be the buying factor if we want to go more in the public service or into more traditional and conventional organization. Because before we start, we have to explain some facts. That is where they will buy our idea. And the thing that, as in the slide, I always use this, like 10 minutes of belly laughter equal with 30 minutes on the rowing machine helps a lot. And by the way, rowing machine is not our forte in Malaysia, but we can convert it to another exercise like cycling or swimming, anything related to our situation countries. It depends on that. But this helps a lot. Yeah. The next slide, please, is related to personality. So before we go into the activities, next slide. Yeah. This slide helps us to explain on the personality part, because we are psychologists. I am a cognitive psychologist, whereby my sister sports psychologist. So we explain on personality, what makes people though difficult to laugh and what make people easy to laugh. A very easy way to explain is that when people who are left brain dominant, sometimes they are very structured and they look into logics. Whereas those who are right brain, it's very easy for them to be very flexible and accept change, you know, and hence easy for them to laugh and whatnot. So these are the things that we have to explain. So I think before we jump into the activity, based on our experience, we will give them a lot of facts, a lot of data, and almost like 15 research papers that I have read in the internet, which is when laughter influence the blood pressure being reduced, the sugar level decreased, and the immune system being strengthened, and that helps them. And the way how to create playfulness is normally my sister, Dr. Noza, will do some physical exercise, simple games that they make mistakes. For example, like when Bill presented on the technique, that helps a lot. Brain gym helps a lot when you do laughter yoga, because the more mistakes you make, and the audience will laugh indirectly. So we cannot force people to laugh, but the way how we communicate with them is by having some activities that encourage them to laugh by themselves. And next slide, please. This is another slide. Because the one that is structured in the government modules is stress management. So Dr. Noza and myself changed it a little bit, like laugh your stress away. And instead of stress management course, we make it like laugh your stress away. And CARP is our module that we prepared for government organization or in any traditional organization, depending on the turn in. Turn in means like what are the issues that make you feel stressed, what make you difficult to laugh and whatnot. And we analyze that. So this is a little bit dry, but I think based on our experience, they like it. They have pen and paper analyzing their issues. And after that, we go to the response. And this response, we have to acknowledge the traditional way, like we mentioned about the time management, we have mentioned about all the theory and whatnot. Then later on, we highlight about the use of laughter yoga, which includes humor, laughter therapy and whatnot. Just because of my background is on humor and laughter, because my research work is more on that. So they can just buy it easily, and they can be very reluctant to the idea, because we have physical evidence that we presented to them. So I'm Dr. Noza as a sports psychologist on the breathing part, on the yoga part. So these are the things that we have to explain. And based on laughter yoga, humor, and laughter therapy, we come up with another one therapy, what we call is lanta. Lanta means in bahasa, in English, it's like whatever, you know, it's a whatever therapy. So I really enjoy from the beginning of the exercises, everything, and it's just more like whatever, you know. So lanta is another way, is a part of laughter yoga that we would like to explain from our perspective, especially for those who are very structured, very traditional and conventional. They have to follow the flow, and finally at the end of the presentation, then we start with all steps of laughter yoga, and then you can see that they really enjoy the program. Now, another thing is that healthy mind and a healthy body in Kuposana in Kuposini is very important for us to explain to them, and that will help them to understand more. So these are the things what we do as government servants, and how we sell this laughter yoga in public service. Now, another challenge that we have to well prepared is that the costume, you know. So if you, I mean, in Malaysian context, if you follow how I presented, normally we use a different way. We use congruity technique, which is, we are talking about laughter, we are talking about being childishness, but our attire is completely formal. So there will be a cognitive dissonance there that make them laugh easily. So like my sister, Dr. Noza, is very tough look person. So we always say that, oh, she's a bouncer in a nightclub, but you know, the way how she presented herself is not like that, and that is not the congruity. These are the things that we do. I have a question. I saw a question. What is the difference laughter yoga and laughter therapy? Okay, laughter therapy. Normally we set up with certain issues. For example, that we have in organization those who need counseling, for example. So one of my technique is that we are using laughter therapy, especially for those who are being office bullied, for example. Yeah. So the therapy means that we have to address one certain issue and dealt with it beautifully with certain explanation and with scientific evidence. So that will be a therapy, and it's not a one-shot program. It's like 4 sessions. So one session just explaining about what are the issue they want to counter with, and the second the second meeting that we will discuss, okay, we will do what we call as laughter yoga, and I'll explain from scientific point of view of what is laughter yoga and basic ho 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 ha ha ha. And the third session is that we will explain to them the whole set, including breathing and let it go, you know, eye contact, the full set of laughter yoga. And finally, in the first stage, then we go into the yoga nidra, kapalabhati, on the releasing technique. By having these 4 stages, then they will be easily for them to laugh after attending our laughter therapy. While laughter yoga is what we are doing now. Like everybody is very supportive, everybody is very open up to discuss about laughter, to to participate and whatnot. So I hope that explains the questions. Yeah, and I just want to share how we do laughter, how we do yoga, nidra, kapalabhati, and also a few things. Now, it's very difficult actually to sell the idea of kapalabhati or yoga nidra in traditional and conventional setting, especially in the government departments, because of the idea of accepting it is totally different. So because I am a hypnotherapist as well, so I started with the idea of explaining the brain wave. So beta, alpha, theta, and delta, how it helps, how hypnotherapy actually have certain research and studies on that. So same goes with this yoga, same goes with what we are doing now. So we are at beta level when we do yoga nidra and we do kapalabhati. Automatically our brain wave from beta will drop into the alpha, and perhaps we go to theta. So beta, alpha, theta, delta is one part of how we explain to do before we directly engage of doing laughter yoga and yoga nidra. And finally, to ask them to do this rowing laughter, you know, normally at the end of session we will do rowing. And after we finish up all the set, explaining from scientific point of view, people's experiences, your videos, and I take all of your videos from the social media, share with them what happens in US, in UK, in Australia, New Zealand, and whatnot. Then they are very open to accept that this is a very international programs and accepted worldwidely. It starts with single person, and it's Dr. Madan Kataria, a surgeon, then they will do it. So end of the session, that will be beautiful because they can accept laughter yoga from the beginning till the end. And I think that's the only thing that I would share because of the limited time. There are a few things actually I want to share, techniques and how we do it. But basically, these are the things, most important thing that all of us can just learn and apply and share with your friends if you want to do it in the traditional and conventional organization. So we have to explain from scientific point of view, a little bit data, a little bit examples from different countries, different part of the world, and then we can go to the practical part, which is laughter yoga. So thank you very much, and I really enjoyed this session, and I hope I'm sending all of you with the positive vibes, and please stay safe. And be good. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you. Very
Thank
good.
you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Raja Kamariah, for showing us how to bring laughter to the public sector. It is indeed very interesting. Thank you once more. Now